Let's talk about the Tamale you were born into that you grew up. Where were you born? Where did you
I
grow
was born right in Tamale, just by the post office. You know the post office?
I saw it.
Yes, you saw the post office. On the right-hand side of the post office, if you go to where they post the letters and turn your back to the where they used to put in the letters, count 5 houses on your left. You are in my house.
So how many were you? Tell us about your family.
Well, my father had 4 wives.
4, okay.
At the time I was born, up to the time I was in middle school, my father had 3 wives. When I went to middle school, he married his 4th wife. And so my father had 4 wives. I was the 5th born of my father from his 3rd wife.
3rd wife, okay. Okay, 5th born. How many siblings are you in total?
My father had 12 children.
Among 4 women? 12.
Yes, so the first woman did not bring forth. The second woman brought forth about 8 or 7, myself, and the last one brought forth 3.
I see. And what happened to you? Did you all go to school? Were you the only one?
Yes, I was the first. I and my senior brother, the one I was immediately following, were the first in our family to go to school.
Okay.
Yes, when my father principally was a butcher and a farmer aside. And so
he sold meat in the market?
In the market. That time the butcher's shop was around where we now have the bar stop. Okay, the central bar stop. That was where the butchers, just by the STC.
Mayanka?
Not Mayanka. Mayanka was at Sakasaka.
Okay.
Mayanka was at Sakasaka. That is, Mayanka is where they slaughter.
Okay. So he was selling, not slaughtering.
Not slaughtering.
Okay.
So he... the story is that one day he was in the market, that we were there, myself and my senior brother milling around him, cleaning leaves for him to sell his meat, when somebody entered and asked why we were in the market. And then he said, yes, we're helping him to sell meat. Then that person advised that he should send us to school. That's the story that I have been told. And then my father took the advice, and the next day decided to send us to school. His first attempt was at Zeguli Primary School. Again, the story is that at the time that they took us to Zeguli Primary School, it was a 3rd term. But of course, my father was not educated. For him, sending his child to school was sending his child to school.
Doesn't matter what time.
And at that time, we were not born with birth certificates, so they couldn't determine our ages, relative ages. So we were asked to put our hands across our head to touch our ears. Mine could not reach.
So you were younger than 6?
My senior brother's one reached. And the head teacher said it was a 3rd term, and so my father should send us back home and wait for...
How did you do that? Show me. What were you supposed to do?
We were supposed to do this.
To hold your ear?
To touch your ear.
Okay, so if you fail to touch, it means what?
You are not 6 years.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
Yes. You are not 6 years.
So that's how your age was determined?
At that time.
So your age as a number of years was not known? Neither was your month and date?
No. Well, I was not born... I didn't see a birth certificate when I was born.
How did you come by a birthday? Do you celebrate birthdays?
No, we don't celebrate.
Currently.
I don't celebrate birthdays, but so I had to decide on a birthday for myself.
Wow.
Yes, you see, these are the stories of...
That's my story too.
Yeah, I had to determine a birthday for myself.
Yeah, it's the same one.
And then when I confronted, I was born in the hospital.
Okay. Oh, and they still didn't get documents.
But they believe that if bad people knew the date you were born, you would be bewitched.
I see.
And so they made it a secret that I shouldn't know the date I was born, and nobody should know.
I see.
I understand that they destroyed the documents.
The
documents evidencing my birth.
Oh, I see. I was born in the house, but...
I was born in the hospital, by Tamale, just by Queen Elizabeth. That was the district hospital then.
I see.
Yes.
When you were growing up, how was Tamale like?
Tamale was good. I mean, you can see the climate change conditions in Tamale. Just by the post office. We had a well that was producing water to feed almost the whole of Tamale. Anytime the water was not flowing through the pipes. We had flowers around the post office. We have flowers around the hospital. You are going to my house now, there's a road. That road, part of it was used for the cultivation of corn, maize, and other vegetables. My father used to farm just after the residency, the Russia bungalow, and was producing yam. Some of the produce were even sent to Kumasi for sale. Can you imagine? Now they are all houses.
Oh.
And there are no flowers.
Everything is gone.
It's gone. If we were going to school, I attended. So when they sent me to Zegbele, and the head teacher advised that they should send us back home and return in the new academic year. My father could not understand, and he had duty my senior brother to send us to school. So when my senior brother reported, he said no. I mean, he must just find a school to go. Fortunately, my senior brother had a friend who was a head teacher at Chuku Primary School. So in the evening, my senior brother was a man of means. I mean, he had a shop, and then every evening.
He's older.
Yeah, my senior brother, not the one I'm
not the one you went to the
my
school.
Father's firstborn.
Okay.
My father's firstborn. So in the evening, his friends came around to sit at his shop, and he said that my father had said he should send us to school, and Zegbili had refused to accept us. Then the head teacher said, well, Chogo was far. I mean, we are just by the post office. In Chogo Primary School, Chogo Hilltop. It's far. Yeah, so, but if he was minded to send us to school and also organize a means of transport for us, he will take us. So that's how
you started. So you went to Chogo. So that's where you started from.
I started from Chogo Primary School, and then from Chogo I went to St. Joseph's. And from St. Joseph's I went to Nalego Secondary School.
Why do you leave Tamale to Nalego Secondary School?
Yes, that's a good question.
Because you had what?
I had friends.
Oh.
I had a friend, Tanko Isahaku, whose senior sister married from the Nairis Palace.
Okay.
And then the husband was working at Nestle. And so when the sister married, Tanko Isahaku was my friend when we were in Chugu Primary School. In fact, we followed each other to St. Joseph's Middle School.
Which year was this when you went to secondary school?
1974.
74. The last time I moved from Tamale to Nalerigo was about 3 or so years ago. Yeah. I went through Gushao to Nalerigo, through Bintiri. The road was not tarred. It's a bad road.
But when I was Minister for Roads and Highways, we did the road from Wale Wale. We had continued, actually.
No, I'm talking about Nalerigo through Gushao to Tamale.
Yes, we had awarded the Nalerigo through Gushao to Tamale.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just trying to look at since 74 when you're using that show. I'm sure it was a footpath.
But
I'm sure it was a footpath then, and now it is still the same thing.
No, it was not a footpath. I mean, but the hills were steeper. Some of the vehicles could not climb the hills. So anytime you got to some of the hills, you had to alight from the vehicle and allow the vehicle to climb, and then you will go back and board the vehicle.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, but they were not that steep. I mean, they were not that bad. In areas where we had steep hills, I think by strategy of the then Roads Ministry, they made sure that they tarred that area of the slope so that the vehicles could go up.
Okay,
yes,
I see.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that since 74, what you're discussing now hasn't changed much.
The road?
Yes.
The road, but the landscape has changed.
Has changed.
Yes, because you had a lot of trees then. I mean, it was nice, even though it was rural. I mean, it was nice.
So from Nalerigo Secondary School, you went where?
Baga Training College.
Okay,
I trained as a teacher.
To become a teacher?
Yes.
Was it a decision you made, or you were instructed to go to training college?
Well, it's a combination of both.
Okay. And you told
I had chosen Laura Secondary School for this form. What sent me to Laura, I don't know. And my father said, I mean, over his dead body.
You're not going to Laura?
What? Laura for what? Over his dead, I mean, he didn't even know where Laura was. Laura was then part of the Upper East region.
Would be very far from
Very far.
Even now, the road to Laura from Tamale
going to Laura Secondary School. So my father would have none of it. And I also said I wanted to go to this form. Then when I was not going, there was a teacher by the house who said, look, why don't you just go to post-secondary teacher training college? You can always go to university or even to the sixth form after but you will have that qualification. So I see that I agreed to the advice. I worked on it. I went to buy the form for Boga Training College on the day of the interview. Fortunately, there was a Catholic father, Father Mike, who was then at Tamale Secondary School as their chaplain. And so when I filled the form, I sent it to Father Mike, and he endorsed, and I brought it back. My results were good. So they had accepted the forms, and then they put me through the interview. I went for the interview, and I was given indication that I would take it. So I was part of the first batch
of students.
to be admitted.
So you went for 3 years, came out as a teacher?
As a teacher, and taught at Nyamkala Middle School. And then after Nyamkala Middle School, I went to teach at Vitim
Within senior high?
Junior secondary school. It was a junior secondary school.
Okay.
Yes.
How many years did you teach for?
I taught for 5 years.
Only? And then you left to where?
I went outside the country. I went on the Ghana-Libya teachers thing.
Exchange program?
Exchange program, sort of. So, and taught for 3 years there.
In Tripoli?
No, in Nalut.
Okay.
Yes, and just came back and went to the university. When I came back, I went back to teach. Okay, and that entitled me to scholarship. Study leave with pay. And then I came to Legon.
So you came to Legon to read LLB straight?
Straight away. I came to Legon. I was given the combination of law, political science, sociology. Yes.
And so you did 4 years?
No. I did 3 years.
And then you moved to...
I did 4 years, but not as steady.
Why did you decide to go to law school, though?
No, I did 4 years, but not because of study. I did 4 years because in the year I went to Legon, the universities were closed down for 1 full year. They had gone on demonstration. Students had gone on demonstration. Kosibucho was the finance minister.
Okay.
And the universities were locked down for 1 good year. And so, so I did 4 years, but actually not as a course of study. As
a teacher, why did you decide to go to law school? Have you always wanted to be a lawyer or?
Well, I think my story is a combination of. It's just been like my going to school. It's just been coincidence. Okay. I had met this lady when I was studying to go to university, and I had tried the first year. I couldn't get into the university. Then I came to Accra and I chanced on the lady, and we were at Workers' College here. That time it was Workers' College, not Accra. What university? What do they call it?
Yeah, Accra Technical.
No, not Accra Technical.
Workers' College is not Hall.
No. Workers' College is now
City Campus. Okay. University of Ghana City Campus. Okay.
That time it was called Workers' College. So when we were there studying, I couldn't get through. So the following year I came to Accra and I found her, and she told me she was reading law. And I said, if we are reading law, then it means I can read law.
And then you went to read law?
Yep.
Who is this woman?
I don't know. She also did very well. In fact, she was given law for first year, but she couldn't make it to the second year. At our time, you were given law in first year, and then you had to justify your inclusion.
Okay.
So when I went to the faculty, she was not in the faculty. She had left the faculty because she couldn't make it to the...
So you never met again?
No, we never met again. We met on campus of the University of Ghana when she was doing another course.
Okay, but not as a lawyer. So she never became a lawyer?
No, so I don't know of now.
Which year were you called to the bar?
2000, exactly.
Oh, so this is your 20th year?
Yeah, at the bar.
Wow, congratulations.
I should be my mates are at the High Court.
Oh yeah, so if you're a judge, you would be at the High Court?
At the High Court, or above the High Court, yes.
And you can be Attorney General?
Yes, I can.
You can be Attorney General?
Yes, I can.
You can be president if you want because you're over 40 years old.
Well, you are looking at the possibilities.
I see. Has law been... Which one is more fun, teaching or law?
Law is more fun. Law is more... It opens your eyes to many things. And many things we take for granted. Many things we take. Even while at the Faculty of Law, I realized that even people who have not gone to law school or studied law of any kind speak law. Now, my father had a plot of land in Tamale, and when we were growing up, one day we went to him and said, look, he should sell his plot of land because 12 children, you have a plot of land. It's not in the middle of Tamale. It's just one plot. If you sell it and just move out the Vitim, you'll be able to buy acres of land. And then the children can have access to a lot of land to build. My father said, yes, but we don't have capacity to tell you. You can't, like he said in local language, you can't tell me
what to
do with my plot, because when I was buying the plot, you were not there. I bought it with my money. So I should decide what to do with the plot. It is only when I die that you can decide what to do with the plot. But so far as I'm living, you can't
run his family for him.
That was a law course I took in equity and trust.
Is your father alive?
He's dead a long time. He died before. He died in my third year in the university.
Was he educated?
No.
Okay, so he never saw you read law?
He saw me enter the university but not read law.
I see. I'm asking you this question because from an ignorant point of view, there are many Muslims who think that being
Oh
a
no,
lawyer,
the Muslims, even when I was doing law, they were saying that. But
my parents think if I went to read law, I'll become a sinner. It's haram.
No. There's an ayah of a verse in the Quran which says, "Alaysa Allah bi akamil hakimin." Don't you know God is the judge of judges? What does it mean? You must be a lawyer before you be a judge.
So it means that verse accepts that there are human judges,
yes,
and then there's an overall judge somewhere. This is Face to Face on Citi TV. If you are a constituent of Tamale Central, what's your judgment of your MP? We are celebrating his life in Parliament.